Okay, today we are going to express percents as fractions and as decimals. So after day, here's what you should be able to do. You should be able to have a percent. You should be able to express that as a fraction. And also to express that as a decimal. Very similar to what we did yesterday. Okay, first problem we're going to do is we are going to express each percent as a fraction in simplest form. So we're going to look at these percents and we're going to turn them into their fraction form. And then from there, we're going to use division to find the simplest form of that fraction. So the one I'm going to do is actually down here. So again, we're going to turn this into a fraction first. So 42%, remember percentages are always out of 100. So all we have to do is write this as a numerator, 42 out of 100 or 42 hundredths. Okay, now here's where the tricky part comes in. This is simplifying this fraction. Now, here's what you could do. You could write down a list of all of the factors of 42 and 100. One strategy I think might be helpful for you today is maybe to use your divisibility rules to help you. So, for example, I'm going to try first. I see both of these, my numerator and denominator, are even numbers. So, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to divide by 2. And I'm doing this, and I understand that I might have to do more than one division step here. And if you really want to, you could write down your factors of 42 and your factors of 100. That would also be okay. 42 divided by 2 is 21. And if I didn't know that off the top of my head, I could always use a calculator, or you can also use any division strategy that you know. Okay, and 100 divided by 2 is 50. Now, this is a little bit more manageable for us to do our greatest common factor. So let's do that real quick. And I'm going to find this for 21 and 50. If you are missing your fact fluency, this is going to be real tough for you. 21 times 1, 2 times anything? Nope. 7 times 3. So these are all of the factors of 21. That's it. 1 times 50, 2 times 25. Let's see. 3 times anything? Let's look. 350 divided by 3. 1 time, 320. Nope, because 20 is not divisible by 3. 4. Let's see. If you don't know, do exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to divide 50 by 4. Nope, it's not going to work for us. Get 10. 10 is not divisible by 4. Okay, I do know another one is 5 times 10. Okay, and that's it. Now go ahead, look at those lists. What do you notice? You notice that their greatest common factor between 21 and 50 is 1. And if we divide by 1, watch what's going to happen. 21 divided by 1 is 21. 50 divided by 1 is 50. So our simplest form of this fraction is 21 50ths. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do another problem. And this is similar to yesterday. So first thing we're going to do is express each percent as a fraction, and then we're going to turn that into decimal form. Now, one thing that I think is helpful is go ahead and take your marker on your whiteboard and make yourself a little place value chart like this with decimals, because we know that all percentages are out of 100. They're another way to represent part of a whole. So we have tenths, and then we have hundredths here. Okay, now I think it's going to be helpful for us once we get our percent form to put it in our decimal place value chart, and that will help us with our decimals because some of these look a little different. Okay, so first we're going to start with 38. That is equivalent to 38 hundredths. 38% is equal to 38 hundredths. And then I'm going to just write that in here. Remember, your last value is what you call or name this decimal. So 38, see how the 8 is in the hundredth place? So I'm going to say 38 hundredths. So when I go to write that as a decimal place, 38 hundredths. Okay, I'm going to skip most of these, but we are going to do this one right here. And this is 4%, also known as 4 hundredths. So when I go to put this in the place value chart, I saw a lot of students doing this yesterday. They're like, boop, I'm done. Is that 4 hundredths that we just did? No, you just wrote down 4 tenths. So 0, 4. Okay. Then when we write that as a decimal and read this out loud, it should say 4/100ths. Okay, moving on to the next slide today. You will see on your practice today a number line. And this is what I was talking about on our learning target slide, where you're going to be transitioning from fractions to decimals to percents. Also, this is asking you to identify some of these on the number line. Some of them you don't have to because they're already done. So we're going to do the one that is right here, okay? So do you see how we can count 1, 2, 3, 4 for 100ths? Yep. So from 0 to 1 whole, we go from 0 all the way to 100 here. Okay? And then when I go to represent that as a decimal, I want to represent 400ths, so tenths, hundredths, 0, 4. And then as a percent, that is 4%. Okay? Now some of these you see you are missing pieces, either the percent or the fraction, so you just need to fill those in. 52% is equivalent to 52 out of 100. Might feel easier to do your fractions first and then do decimals, or 52 hundredths. Here, this one's a little tricky. You don't want to just put 1%. This is actually 1 whole, or 100%. 100 out of 100.